Now, this is the theory and technology part of Unit 8, Measurement of Landscape Works. Please open your notes, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in the measurement of landscape work, this work section is stated under Section 37 of the New Rules of Measurement Manual, which is soft landscaping. Okay, what is the difference between soft landscaping with the hard landscaping? Okay, soft landscaping involves vegetation, the plants, the shrubs that we will be learning today. And the hard landscaping is the construction, the use of construction materials. Okay, therefore, that is the difference between the soft and the hard landscaping. Where the hard landscaping, we will study that in Unit 9 for external works later. Okay? Therefore, in this case, it is stated in Section 37, Work Section 37, soft landscaping. Then drawings that must accompany in the measurement under this work section, it is the site plan and section, the component details, and the planting schedule, meaning that there will be a timetable when it will be, the plants will be implemented. Okay, because it is important that you have a planting schedule, because sometimes it is summer, then it is not favorable to conduct your planting schedule. Okay, you will wait for the rainy season to plant. Otherwise, your plant will die if it is summer. Okay, then you need the maintenance of providing more watering on your plant if it is summer. Then also, you need the scope and location of the work. What will be the scope of your soft landscaping and the location and where it will be. These are the mandatory, meaning that this is the required. Okay, you need to have the site plans, the section, the component details, and then the planting schedule. Then, this is the detailed measurement. The work section will describe cultivating, where the unit will be superficial item, surface application, superficial item, seeding, and turfing. Then the depth stated, the type and rate stated, method of application. For seeding, the rate stated. For turfing, the type and thickness stated. Okay, then we will apply this one in the practical later. For level 2, level 3, for level 2 under surface application, we are to identify what type of herbicide. Okay, that will be to eliminate the organisms that will tend to damage your planting. Okay, the weed killers. The pit is a combination of a compost and soil. The manure, sometimes we are using disposal from animals to have a natural fertilizer. The compost is also called a mulch, or it is composed of vegetation that have been dried and then have been combined with other natural fertilizer to manufacture a compost. Compost and mulch are the same. Fertilizer, sand. Soil ameliorants are soil enhancers to provide good plant in the plant growth. Okay, it will provide the acceleration of plant growth. The next, in your notes, classification of items to be measured, as I have said before. Then, cultivating, surface application, seeding, turfing trees will be discussed in the succeeding slides. Cultivating. Okay, horticulture is a branch of agriculture that deals with the art, science, technology, and business of growing plants. Therefore, as a QS, you also is to provide quantity measurement for landscaping. Therefore, this is the design will be prepared by the architecture specialization, but the quantity survey, it is your responsibility to prepare. Okay, the costing. They have no knowledge about it. Okay, therefore that's why I'm informing you that your job description will be present to all specialization of engineering. Okay, as we have started our measurement tree, you have learned about precast, unit 2 pre-stress, unit 3 piling works, which is prepared by the geotechnical engineer, precast and pre-stress prepared by the structural engineer. Okay, unit 4 underpinning prepared by architecture for architectural conservation and also by geotechnical engineers to preserve and restore buildings, old buildings. Then unit 5 is telecommunication work. Then you will be working with electronics and software engineers and ITs. Unit 6 is fire protection works. Then you will be working with fire engineer. Then Unit 7 is gas installation works, and you will be working with petroleum and mechanical engineers and chemical engineers. Unit 8 is soft landscaping, and Unit 9 is hard landscaping or external works. Then you will be working with the architects and landscape designers. Therefore, any of the specializations stated, you are there. Okay? That's why you are the one who is consolidating all the work breakdown schedule or work section schedule based on what is stated in the new rules of measurement. Okay? To create a certain standard for easy comparison of tender or bid submission. You are the one who will be responsible in organizing all the tenders. Therefore, this is the example of how a soft landscape will be. It may be in the exterior or external work or internal work, okay, inside the building structure. Then maybe you are dealing with a residential community or a sports facility such as golf course. Okay, then in golf course it is a wide area to be landscape, okay, to be cultivated, and the maintenance will be a daily maintenance of the golf course. Okay? Then who will compute this? It is your responsibility to prepare the quantity preparation for this type of projects. Then surface application. Landscape architectural construction is the work of ensuring a level base or one with a specified slope for the purpose of garden improvement. Sometimes it is a level base, or sometimes to make your landscape to be pleasing, then it must be having a specified slope or gradient. Then the earthworks created for such a purpose are often called the subgrade or finish contouring. Therefore, contouring is a part of surveying to identify the difference in reduced levels of a certain site to determine where will be the highest level of project and the lowest portion of the project, so that you can decide where the water will flow, okay, by through gravity. Then you will not be using pumps. If you determine where will be the water source of your reservoir from to be constructed in a higher site going to the lower site. Then it is often done using heavy machinery. Then you need to have bulldozers and excavators, and then using a grader. Then the equipment quantification of the time and the period and the duration that this heavy equipment will be utilized in your project. No one can prepare this quantification except you as a quantity surveyor. Okay, then you will be using your knowledge in engineering survey that you have learned from Brother Abu Bakar, in order that you can have a basis of your computation later. Okay, especially in reduced level profile leveling by the use of rise and fall method and the height of the plane of collimation. It is important in the preparation of soft landscaping works. Therefore, this is what the grader is to be utilized in your project. Maybe it is a level plane, okay, or to prepare your landscape work, or maybe it is sloping. Okay. Sometimes you need hard landscaping for external works. Okay, you need to lay out pavers. Okay, not only soft landscaping for trees and shrubs. Okay, this is a combination of turf and pavers, and also garden furniture. Then hydro seeding or seeding, the process of combining seed, mulch, fertilizer, and tackifiers. Meaning that you are to combine the plant seeds, the mulch, as I have said, mulch are dried leaves or vegetation, or compost. Then fertilizer. Fertilizers derive its product from ammonia, that we will be learning in gas installation later. And ammonia has its raw materials from natural gas, which is abundant in this country. Okay? Then tackifiers are chemicals that tend to have a property of to be combining the seed, mulch, and fertilizer. Okay, it will have a cohesive effect or adhesive. Okay, so that it will bond with the present soil in your project site. Then such will be mixed with water and then sprayed in the soil, so that turf will grow fast. Okay, because of this combination. Because sometimes seed alone will not grow without fertilizer or without compost and without tackifiers. It must be a combination of all together with water. As it is shown here in the image, it is sprayed in a sloping ground or in a flat ground. It depends. Then turfing. Turf is an integral component of the landscape. It provides environmental, functional, and design benefits and uses in home landscapes, parks, and commercial sites, as shown in the image. Therefore, grass, the other name is turf. Okay, as shown here. Therefore, sometimes it is planted by a machine and not by individual planting by a human being. Okay, it is laid out by a machine, and it is also trimmed. If the turf already grows, okay, high, then it will be trimmed by a machine. Also. Then all the cost of equipment to be utilized in the maintenance of your soft landscape, you are the one to prepare for the costing. As based in work section 37 for soft landscaping in new rules of measurement. But sometimes it needs to have a hand of your manpower per week, okay, on a small scale of landscaping works. As shown here in the image, it is already done by, okay, by your personnel who will maintain the soft landscaping works. Then benefits of turf in landscape areas, it reduces soil erosion, meaning that erosion means it is the disintegration of soil from its original location going to the lower ground due to the maybe for floods or to be carried by water. Then it protects groundwater because the turf will hold the soil not to be heated by the sun heat, and it will protect the groundwater from evaporating fast. Okay, it is called transpiration in hydrology, or just simply evaporation in the understanding of water cycle. Okay, water cycle will be done by, shall we say, precipitation by rain. Then it will infiltrate the soil, it will store as a groundwater. Then if it is heated by the sun, it will evaporate again going to the clouds. But if there is a presence of the turf, okay, it will decrease the intensity of evaporation, then it will hold the water for a long duration. Rather than if there is no turf, shall we say it is a desert, then the storage of water will be quick to deplete its level underground. Then visually unify the landscape, meaning that if you can see, if a golf course if it is covered with turf, okay, it is very cool to see, to have it viewed in a ground. It is cool to the eye. Then create an aesthetic foreground for other plants. Then provide an ideal surface for outdoor activities. As I have said, okay, it is very good to be in an area where there is a presence of turf or grass. Okay, as I have seen here during this season. Okay, most of us are going out and then just lay the mat in the grass and then eating together with families in the park. Okay, it's very having a feeling of contentment and satisfaction to be going out sometimes with your family and sitting in the turf. Trees. In landscape design, placement of trees needs careful consideration to function and design elements. Okay, these are example of trees. Trees are typically the major plant structure in a landscape and give architectural form and organization to space. Therefore, trees also contribute in the protection of water table and also from flash flood. If it rains, then it will not go direct to the sun or to the soil. It will be blocked by the tree leaves. Then after that, if the water will fall in the ground, it will be absorbed by the turf. Then if it infiltrates in the soil stratum, then it will be the water will be held by the tree, by the roots of the trees. Therefore, the water will not dispose fast to the lower ground because of the barriers that have been done by these soft landscaping works. Okay, then it will not create a flash flood that the water will rise quickly in the lower surface because it is held in the high ground by the soft landscaping work that you have done or have being have been implemented. Therefore, order of installation of trees for landscape design in the property. Therefore, there is an order or a procedure or a sequence of planting the trees. It is not only just by chance or by random. Okay? Therefore, if you will be asked what type of sequence that the tree will be planted in a given landscaping area, therefore you can answer how it will be implemented. Therefore, first, specimen trees. The individual tree becomes the landscape feature. It is set off from other trees and plant materials by unique spacing. You must have an order of spacing, an order of the form of trees. Maybe trees that are circular in shape will be grouped in a given section, or trees with a triangular shape, or trees with, okay, it depends on the form. Then color, maybe trees of green will be placed in the other section. Trees with having red leaves, or trees with having a yellow leaves will be spaced, okay? Will be space and form. And texture, maybe trees with large leaves, trees with smaller leaves. It will be sorted to be uniform. That's why specimen trees are open, but in always a focal point in the design. Meaning focal, it is the center of attraction in the placement of trees. Therefore, any activities that will involve soft landscaping, any procedure, it entails a cost, because sometimes it needs the labor of your manpower and also the contribution of your heavy equipment in hauling, in preparation, okay, in planting. It needs to be quantified. Group plantings. In group plantings, the trees as a unit become the landscape picture. Groupings are often but not always the same species. In group plantings, it do not mix contrasting forms. Meaning, as I have said, in group plantings, trees of the same varieties are planted on the same site. As I have said, it is green. If it is all green, it will be planted on, as we have seen here in the sidewalks. If it is dates, all will be planted with dates and turfs. Then the flowers, they are now starting to plant flowers. Well, they are sorting it by colors and not only by random. Okay, it is very beautiful to see. Not only in your eye to view the plants, but you can smell the flowers really. Okay? Therefore, it gives you a different satisfaction. Then the government is spending on it money, okay, just to make the environment pleasing for us to utilize or to be with, okay. Then if you're just simply talking in the park, you feel comfortable even if without eating food or without, okay, any accessories that you are holding. Okay, just talking, then you are feeling comfortable because of the soft landscape provided by us, by the municipality. Then mass plantings. In mass plantings, individual trees lose identity. Meaning that in here, it is a random planting. Okay? And it appears as one larger unit in the design. A group planting may grow into a mass planting as trees mature. Okay? Therefore, it may be a forest where there are already old trees that were planted before. Then younger trees have grown beneath or under the old trees. Therefore, it appears to be a group or a mass planting. Therefore, this is a type of mass planting where it is not already in spacing. There are no spacing and there will be no form in the manner of planting of this vegetation already. Therefore, this is the British Standards 8545 series of 2014, Annex D, where this is the guidance on nursery production and procurement. How can you produce, okay, and how can you procure? Therefore, this is the guidance, the guidelines. Tree longevity in the landscape begins not at a planting site, but as a nursery. Okay, then we are to understand what is a root system. It will be explained later. Therefore, there are several nursery production systems which affect tree root development. Bare root. What is bare root? Young trees are lifted from nursery rows without any accompanying soil. This is called a bare root if there is no soil. Therefore, in transporting a bare root tree, it is very light to transport trees without soil. Okay, because a tree can grow without any soil in its root. Then it is very light to transport. Okay, you can transport many trees if it is a bare root tree. Okay, as shown here. Then next, the root ball. The root ball trees are lifted from the nursery rows with a ball of filled soil. Therefore, in our country, this is called earth balling, meaning that you are lifting trees or plants with soil beneath it in its root. Therefore, in transporting such trees, we must be careful that the soil will not be disintegrated with the roots, because the plant will die. Okay, then it is secured by a pot maybe, or by a plastic, so that the soil will not disintegrate with the roots. Therefore, it is called a root ball. Then it is heavy. For the root ball, it is heavy because it is not only the plant that you are transporting, but you also transport together with the earth in its roots. Therefore, it is very heavy. Therefore, instead of transporting many, maybe you will be transporting only a few on your truck, because you transport both the trees, the weight of the trees and the weight of the soil present in its root. Then letter C, containerizing. Bare root or root ball trees are lifted from the nursery. Therefore, it needs container. Maybe if it is plastic, maybe the plastic cannot hold the weight of the soil. It will burst while howling. Therefore, it needs really a pot or a container. And then, container growing, trees are grown in containers for all or most of their time in the nursery, and move from smaller to larger containers as growth necessitates. Therefore, you can grow trees in container if it is still in the nursery. Then, if someone will, shall we say, will be interested in planting such variety of tree or such specimen of tree, then they will just buy it in the nursery, then brought it on the project site location. So to say, there will be a new commercial residential complex that will be built in a reclamation area near the sea. Then how can you plant? There will be no existing trees there growing in the shoreline. Then you must need to buy it in the nursery and then brought the larger trees in the project site, maybe in Almud. Okay? Then after the construction have been finished, it is turned over, then it is utilized by the occupants. Then those who are visiting it will be surprised that there are already larger trees planted on near the shoreline. Okay, because it was brought through container growing. Okay, therefore this is now trees that have been planted in nursery by containers. Shrub. Shrub is generally considered a multi-stem woody plant that is less than 4.6 meters. Meaning, it is not yet a tree. Okay, if it does not exceed 4.6 meters, it is yet called as a shrub. It is the difference between the shrub and a tree. Then shrubs, you can find it in nursery. Okay, it is a small tree. Therefore, these are shrubs. Okay, then if it is trimmed, then it will stay as a shrub forever if it is handled with trimming. Okay, sometimes Japanese have the art of growing what they call bonsai, where for maybe decades they just simply maintain a small tree inside their house. Okay, it is called bonsai in Japanese term. Therefore, it is an old tree, but it will not grow because they limit the growth of the tree. Okay, it is called the bonsai, art of bonsai. Then functions of shrubs, it can be used as foundation plants. Shrubs are often placed at the base of at home to hide the foundation. Then, or privacy border. Maybe it will be used as a fence. Okay, or sometimes you can see that in the sidewalks. Okay, as a privacy border. Therefore, this image will explain what the words means in the definition. Okay, it will serve as a fence. It's good also because it is very cool to the eye. Maybe in the Salalah region, it can be, but here also, when you go to the masjid, there is also privacy borders. Okay, just to protect the turf, maybe from damage. Okay, as you can see, how it will be presented as a privacy border or a fence. Accent plants. Accent plants are those placed next to a prominent landscape feature to frame or add emphasis to that feature. Therefore, you can have your shrub to be an accent plant, and then you have also the shrub as your privacy border. Then all of it has a cost. Then who will be giving the cost for that? It will not be given by the architect, it will not be given by the civil engineer. No specialization, engineering specialization will be assigning a presentation of the cost for this, only quantity surveyor. They have not learned this. Okay, you will be the one. Then they will be relying on you in the presentation of the costing later. But the more you have been in demand for your work function, the more, shall we say, work that will be offered to you later. Okay, because you know everything in every specialization. Ground covers. Ground cover shrubs are low-growing shrubs. It may be 1 meter or lower, or 3 feet or lower, and often have a spreading habit, meaning that it does not grow, it just simply creep